Welcome back to the channel, your local bedhead here. So we are going to be diving into another trailer today. Apologies for the lack of content. I've really been just kind of setting things up with my new PC. You guys may not know this. I got a new PC and it's a beast. In comparison to my last PC, this thing is a Skytech King 95. So far, like, no issues whatsoever, so I'm very, very grateful for that. Yeah, we're going to be diving into the new trailer for Monster, the Ed Gein story, which is kind of crazy that this just dropped because we were actually just talking about the posters that dropped. So if you want to go check out that video, you guys can. I really enjoyed Monster, the Jeffrey Dahmer story. I have not seen season 2, which I think is called Monsters, the Menendez brothers story, or something along those lines. I think it's just called Monsters. I have not checked that out yet. At some point, I absolutely will. I'll probably check that out before I check out the new season, which is going to be about Ed Gein. But the trailer dropped for the Ed Gein story, so what we're going to go ahead and do is dive into the trailer. I'll give you guys my personal thoughts during and after the video. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's go ahead and dive into this, and I'll give you guys my personal thoughts. From the creators of Dahmer and Monsters, the Lyle and Eric Menendez story.
What shocks you most about him? How did he do it?
Yep, there it is.
What was his childhood like? Now,
Ooh.
I'd like to show you something worse.
Before Psycho, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and The Silence of the Lambs. Yeah, he was the real deal. There was the monster.
You're working too fast.
I'm sorry, Mother.
Just go slow and steady. Take your time, sweet boy.
Wow. You really felt Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Psycho in there. Holy shit. Okay, so there's his house. All the bugs flying around. Actually, I think those are moths, aren't they? Which, if you've never seen Silence of the Lambs, moths. What I was told is that when the police went to his actual house and they found all the bodies, apparently there was even bodies hanging from the ceiling, supposedly is what I heard from somebody who apparently was not really a witness, but their dad was a witness. Because they asked the neighbors if they could help clean it up, I suppose. Don't quote me on this, but I think this is what happened. And the smell was so horrid. The police could barely stomach everything. Like, with everything all over, the bodies hanging, the organs inside the giant cauldron that he had in the living room or wherever he had it.
How did he do it?
Furniture made of human skin.
What was his childhood like? Now, I'd like to show you something worse.
Okay, what was that? It looks like him running with a bunch of inmates. And someone actually made a very interesting point, using the word inspired. Because, you know, you're giving credit to this guy, which that's not, I don't think that's what anybody means to be doing when they say the word inspired. But his actions and what he did influence the decision-making for those films. Yeah, not giving credit to him, obviously. You don't want to do that. Obviously, I would never give him credit, but he did. He influenced all that stuff. His actions did.
You're working too fast.
I'm sorry, Mother.
Just go slow and steady.
That is
Take
creepy.
your time, sweet boy.
I can't tell if that's supposed to be his mom's face. It's an older woman, so I'm just going to assume that's him dressing up as his mom, which apparently that's something he would do, is that he would play both the roles of himself and his mother by dressing up like her. I don't know if he ever did anything to her body, even though and that's kind of what it felt like back here, where he's kind of going up her hips and stuff. I'm not sure if this is her. That might be her. I can't tell. But it might be just a victim. Maybe it was mentioned to me at some point in the past. I just can't recall.
You're working too fast.
I'm sorry, Mother.
Just go slow and steady. Take your time, sweet boy.
And honestly, to market it the way they are, where it's almost like they're treating it as a horror film, is probably a clever way to get people interested, letting them know that if you are a fan of these films, definitely gave me a lot of Psycho vibes. I felt Texas Chainsaw and Psycho more than anything else in this, by far. I mean, I could see him rubbing lotion on bodies, so obviously if you have not seen The Silence of the Lambs, Buffalo Bill. So yeah, pretty disturbing stuff. Pretty absolutely disturbing stuff. I'm curious to see it myself. I know there was a lot of people saying that they're only casting these guys because they just want to bring in the female audience. They're casting very attractive actors. And look, they're not bad looking dudes, but at the same time, Evan Peters was awesome as Jeffrey Dahmer. I'm not going to say awesome. He was very convincing and very disturbing as Jeffrey Dahmer, which is like the key. He was great in the role. So give him credit where credit's due. And I'm sure Charlie Hunnam is going to be a phenomenal Ed Gein. I'm sure he's going to be very disturbing. I'm sure it's going to be very horrid to watch. And that's kind of the goal. So I got no doubt about it. I think the tone fits very well. I think overall, I think people are probably going to be more excited about this than they probably were season 2. I haven't heard a whole lot after season 2 ended, but people just didn't talk about it all too much. I'm curious to see season 2, but the Ed Gein story, I think, is where they want to see these very... I don't want to use the word iconic because, obviously, don't want to give any credit to any of these psychopaths, but the more talked about serial killers out there, and Ed Gein is like in the top 5 most talked about by far. So there's Ed Gein, John Wayne Gacy, Jeffrey Dahmer, several of others. They're the big ones that people talk about when this conversation comes up. Obviously, it is scripted stuff. It is meant to be a show. It is meant to be entertainment in a sense, but also it is to inform you and to show you what these people were kind of like. And I just have no doubt about it. I mean, the Dahmer season 1 made me hate Jeffrey Dahmer even more from how horrible this person was. So I have no doubt they're going to keep that kind of tone going with season 3 of Monster. Ed Gein, out of a lot of them, is probably the most interesting kind of conversation when it comes to the serial killer conversation, because there's really the things that he did so beyond. So I'm just curious to see how they're going to portray that in season 3 of Monster. Let me know your personal thoughts down below. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you all in the next one. I will do more trailer reactions if you guys so wish. So make sure you hit that like button. I'll check you out later. Take care.